Good morning, everyone. We're live at the Sewing Gallery, our weekly presentation. We're excited. We got lots of things to talk about. Nice deals, monthly deals, weekly deals. We got classes coming, so we're excited about that. First thing we're going to talk about is the Queen Bee Club. Of course, you know, that'll be coming a renewal if you want to get in on it. Be watching our website. I'm sure we will be gearing up to get your pre-orders for that. But right now, we're into September, and this is it. This is the bag. But I also wanted to show you what my buddy Christy done with a shirt. She took the design, and this is something Kim Edens would do from Beckley, is put it on a sweatshirt. So this is the design, and as I tell you each week about it, it's different stitching, so you're going to learn to do that. So it's really cool, but Christy did her a cute sweatshirt. So yay for you, Miss Puckett. And then if you'll look on the back of our walls, you will see this is Deb's and this is Christy's that they've done the Halloween ladder. We have the threads to go with it. We also have the embellishment kit that goes with it. We have the CD, and we also have the fabric. So if you're interested in doing this, you know, some people says, well, I've got the kit and everything. The way you have to approach it, this is testimony from Christy and Debbie that works with us. Now, Jill just goes to cutting, but they cut the pieces for each section. And then once they're all cut, then they go back and they embroidery. And you see, Debbie's is done with the orange for the border. You're learning when you do this, and Chris did it in white, their embroidery design around it. Comes with the fabric to do the back, so you don't have to do anything. I mean, you don't have to buy anything extra like backing or anything with this because it comes with it. So take advantage of that. Please always check our website out to see what's happening on it. But these are really nice kits, but it's also nice to be able to do this because you learn more about your embroidery machine. And that's important. Or, you know, people says, well, I want to do this. And of course, we've got our embroidery class coming up that we need you to get signed up for. This is it. This is what you'll make. You'll make 2 placemats. You'll make this, and you'll make the container with the flashing lights. That'll be pretty at Christmas time. It's the gingerbread. And of course, one of the things we have on sale today that's associated with it. Now, our class will be October the 19th. But if you decide that's not a good date for you, you can do it, as Betsy says, home alone. It's not, we're going to do a video or anything with it. Chris had called me this morning because, you know, we don't want to mislead you that we're going to give you a video. But with Kimberbell, it's step by step and it's easy to do. That's a good question. I'm not sure, but I will check. Thank you, Virginia. Good morning to you this morning. Thanks for shouting out to us and letting us know that you're online with us. The next great deal is the 30% off. And I put these bags in. You can carry so much in these. These are wonderful. I think they are. If you come to our class, you can put your mats in it. You can even put threads. It just keeps giving. So this is a wonderful project. You can put your jump drives in up here. This netting here, you can put stuff in it, and it expands. So this is our 30% sale monthly deal. And then we've got Sundance charm packs. We got Candace in it too. So if you're looking to get a charm pack, now's the time. We've got Ruby Star. This is a layer cake. They do theirs a little different. It's real nice. And then we have a quilt kit in it. But now, because, you know, all the foggy mornings we had in August means how many snows we're going to have. And if you're stuck at home, and, you know, with anything, as Christy and Deb does, they completely cut their kit out and then they start their embroidery or sewing. So that's 30% off also. And then we've got the Union Square layer cake. You know, layer cakes, when I first started, run $32. They're $47.99 now. So this is a deal with 30% off. Got a new layer cake pattern today to show you also. But these are nice bags to take advantage of. Wanted to give you some insight on some new batiks that we've got. I got these lighter colors. Light colors sometimes is hard to find in batiks. So we went with all these colors thanks to Miss Tracy from Moda. But these are our new batik colors, which you can go online. And the way Mary has it set up, you'll see the new fabrics, the new lines. You'll see our fall lines. You'll see our Christmas lines. So I'm trying to put these down. They're pretty heavy. So that's some of our new. Hodgepodge. This is a new pattern that you can do. You can do it big, but it's fat quarters that you would use this. I think it's real pretty. This would be great with grunge, Bella Solid, or for those that breaks the rules, such as Betsy and Jill, this would be you a nice pattern. You know, people's always saying, "What? I picked all these fat quarters up at all these quilt stores on the shop hop. What do I do with it?" Right here's you something. Doug Lecky came out with a pattern that you can do a layer cake. And he accented it with charcoal and I think, charcoal. I was thinking white when I glanced down, but that's what he accented it with. If you've got a layer cake at home and you want to put a quilt together real quick, this is another nice pattern. So I'm all the time looking for patterns where you folks already have the amount of fabrics, such as layer cake, charm packs, fat quarters. One of the things that I also wanted to show you that Debbie did, she'll probably want to take this home eventually, but she did one of the towels that we have in the store, and she did it from the design here, one of these designs. So when you buy these kits, you can break the designs away, put them on sweatshirts, put them on hand towels for the kitchen, whatever you want to do. But of course, make sure you tell your husband he cannot use these. Something that I wanted to show you. This is our giveaway this month, which is called Magic Pins. All you have to do to be part of this is to sign up each month with your email and your birth date. How does the birth date work? You've got a complete month to use it. Mary makes sure that it's sent out the first of the month. You have to use it online. You get a $10 coupon if you use it. So we wanted to share it with you. One of the other things that we've got up and coming, the end of this month is September the 28th and October the 12th is our Stack and Whack. You choose a fabric, and if you notice, this is the outside. These are the different designs of the blocks on the inside. So, fun class, got to buy the book, got to buy background fabric and the fabric. So it's 2 fabrics, but it's quite a bit, depending on what your repeat is. So we chose to do this class because Christy and Betsy wanted to be stack and whackers, and they are now certified stack and whackers. So you need to come and join the class so you can see, and maybe you can become a stack and whacker like those two have become. I wanted to mention that we have our Kimberbell shirts. We have them, the sweatshirts, along with the t-shirts. And it says, spread kindness like confetti. Well, with this election coming, we need to spread kindness with confetti on both sides of the aisle. So maybe instead of getting these terrible saying shirts that people manage to come up with, maybe buy you one of the sweatshirts or buy you a t-shirt. It says spread kindness. During this election, this is a game changer for the country. But let's wear our shirts and let our actions speak louder than what might possibly come out of the mouth. And kindness is always the best remedy for any situation. So come in. We've got it all the way up to 3X and all the way to small. And maybe on November the 5th, you could wear your shirt when you go and vote that says cultivate kindness. So we got another plan for your shirts if you buy them, but they're Kimberbell. And we wanted to show them to you this morning as a reminder that we still have some in stock. We're all into quick quilts. This is the Christmas one put out by these gals, mother and daughter. I had Doreen, thank you Doreen so much for doing this, to do one of the quilts up from this book. And I had her to do it in Christmas fabric. We haven't got it quilted, she just got it done. She did this at home for me. But I wanted to show you how pretty. You don't have a lot of money in it, just your book and your pattern. And hopefully by next week, we will have it quilted. So it's real pretty. And 3 colors, a light, a medium, and a dark. So nice. And our weekly deals, brought some things back. It's the end of the year in my eyes because of inventory, but we just finally got the 30s fabric, the new 30s line. We put these on sale. It's 12 in a bundle. We picked real pretty colors to go with it. And then for those that are just getting introduced to Kimberbell, or this is a great tool to use for wrapping gifts. So I put our little tape dispensary on sale today. And then I put these on sale. So if you're doing our class, there's 2 of them in it. Placemats. If you don't want to do our class with us and you'd like to get the placemats and put snowmen on it, which that's what Jill Blizzard will do. I know her. But this is a great idea. I brought the bird's nest out for you guys to purchase. It is a deadly weapon if somebody tries to come in your house while you're embroidering, something special. And if your husband gets mean with you, you can threaten him with this device. It's great for embroidery if you're going to get things stuck. And this has a blade and a hook so that you can lift up and you can slice. So it's a really good deal with 25% off. It's regularly $34. And also, for those of you that's doing 12 things at a time because you're trying to cook dinner or breakfast, I put the snap hoop on sale, the 5x7, so that you have 2 going at the same time you're prepping one. And placing things sometimes is a little challenging. So I wanted to give you some real deals today from maybe you thought about purchasing and you hadn't. But this gives you an opportunity because these are 2 great items to have if you own an embroidery machine. I promise you can't go wrong with either one. You will use them at some point. You will wish you had this. I don't like to put anything in the hoop anymore because I used to find myself standing up trying to push that top one in. So, I float mostly and use a sticky back We're having 48 and 60 month no interest from the 6th through the 23rd. I have to say it like that because that's the way I remember it. I wanted to talk to you about the NQ17E versus this one needle, the PR1X. Gals, this is something, we have to have that little Jesus meeting this morning about this versus this. Because I've had two people come in the last week and a half, and one of them owns this machine, and one of them owns a combo machine that is like the NQ1700. Many of you think that your side hustle, you can do it on this $2,000 machine. You can for a short time. But if you are mass producing, and what's mass producing to Scott and I as service techs? Well, if you're making 10 a day, to me, that's mass producing. What do you think, Scott?
Oh, definitely.
So what starts to happen with these machines, or you've bought it online, a lot of you, we don't see you until you purchased it somewhere else, and then you look up and you find the brother service center in southern West Virginia. And you come to us. And it's looping on the top at that point with your embroidery. Well, you haven't done anything different. You're still doing the same thing every time you put something on, and you've changed your needle. You've took your bobbin out. You've rehooped. You've rethreaded. And what starts to happen up inside the guts here that I advise you not to let your husband or you get in, it starts to mess with the tension. Correct, Scott?
Absolutely.
And then it starts to affect your bobbin casing. A girl brought a machine in yesterday, and her bobbin casing, she had eat up to no return. And once that bobbin casing has holes punched in it, it's been compromised. And then you're going to think it's the tension. You're going to think it's the thread. Of course, it's nothing you've done, right? If you're going to mass produce, here she is. Runs around $8,000, and you get everything to go with it. I even include these type of frames with it, just so. These are fast frames. It slides in just like this. You can put all kinds of stuff on it. Of course, it's a little sticky where we use it so much. You can put four threads up here, but it only does one thread at a time. But if you're going to mass produce and you say 2,000 versus 8,000, and you say, well, I'm not sure that I'm going to continue doing this. When I make a decision to do a business or whatever, I make the decision and I go with it. And that's the way you got to think, especially if you're thinking about doing a business, because you're going to have this machine wore out in no time. I promise you, in 6 months, you will start to have issues. Even with our bigger machines, if you spend $12,000 on an XP3 or the new machine that's coming out and you're trying to mass produce on it, the machines are just not designed to endure that type of treatment, even though you give $2,000. It's just not designed for you to treat it like a workhorse. I always use the example. I have a 3/4 ton Chevy Colorado truck, and I always use it if I go to the mines and I get a ton of coal. 6 months I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna have my speed. I'm not gonna see any change in the or any change in the transmission. But I promise you, in 6 months, coming up those hills with that heavy 1 ton on my truck, it's going to not operate as well. Moving a camper. My Chevy Colorado is not designed to put a hitch on the back and move one of those big campers. It's just not. You can get away with it for a little while, but at some point, that transmission is going to start to slip because the truck is not designed for that. Just as this machine is not designed for that, even though you're not sure that's what you want to do, is embroidery as a side hustle job. Um, and this is a great machine, but it's for home use. But if you're going to go and start a business, you're going to have to put the $8,000 out up front. You're going to have to buy threads. You're going to have to buy stabilizers. You're going to have to buy needles. So you're looking at $8,700 out the gate. And say that you're doing embroidery and you're charging $10. How long is it going to take you to profit doing that? It's going to take you a long time. So when you go to sell your stuff at these craft shows, you have to, in the equation, put the cost of the machine in the mindset, cost of the threads, cost of the stabilizer, and yourself. Now, I value myself when it comes to doing embroidery. If we put a name on a shirt like this, we charge around $23 because one, we've got to get it set up. The setup of everything, whether you're doing embroidery with the ladder or you're doing a name on a shirt, the prep time, you look at it and you say, okay, is this right? And you're doing somebody's Ralph Lauren shirt and you're thinking, oh God, I can't mess this up. Now's not the time for this machine that I've abused and did 100 shirts with. And on that last one, you're doing it for a friend and it messes up. And then you have to allot for mistakes because nobody's perfect. And sometimes you say, I'm going to re-push that button. I do it on this one, and then I have to sit down and I have to take it out because I've misspelled it. Go figure, at the time, because I've run back here, back up front, back here to cut something, back to the quilting machine, and sometimes it's hard to have a balance in all that. But if you're thinking about doing a side hustle business, and I brought this up because one of the girls that had the NQ 1700, I didn't realize she was mass producing, and her point was, well, I'm not sure that I want to do it for a business. Well, you're either in it or you're not. That's the most important thing. I got this mean dog barking this morning here in the shop, but Scott, is there anything that you want to say about when they bring these machines in?
Wear and tear on the 1700 if you're mass producing. Stuff from your stabilizers is going to get up into the tension discs. More problematic if you're running mounts of items through on the NQ 1700, whereas this is designed more for commercial use and it's not going to need the service as much because it's designed to be able to handle the load of what you want. So 4 threads versus 1 thread, and the convenience of in and out of the sauna is light years ahead of what the NQ7. Great machines, both of them, for what they're designed for. So you got to ask yourself, as Sue is saying, your plan, and how are you going to make it happen with a smaller machine that is not built to do the
Exactly. And, I always try to throw business points in. So if you were that girl or gal that's wanting to do a business where you can stay at home, you've got to have a plan of action. What's your goals when you start the business? And Jill, Betsy, even Christy will tell you that, and Jen, I drive them crazy because I'm always thinking of what's the next plan. If I'm doing embroidery only for a living, I'm going to come up with some unique fonts. I'm going to advertise them on Facebook. You don't get to start this business, get a machine, and God's going to drop business on you. You got to go out and get it. So I just wanted to say that in comparison for two machines. If you're going to mass produce or you're going to do these craft shows, take my advice. Buy this machine. Or Scott and I are going to see you about every month and a half. Once the problems start, and even with big machines and their dense designs, and say you're doing 20 of them, Anita Good Designs. Her designs, well, his designs is always real dense. And if you're mass producing to sell those in a show, like putting a big eagle on a bag, you'll have problems. And it's, yeah, hats is great with that. Excellent. I can do hats real easy with just the fast frames. But I just wanted to give you that to think about because everybody's always looking, and especially with where the economy is right now, how can I make extra money for my family? Or, I want to do a business at home so I can stay home with the kids. We need to go to this machine if that's the case. And I just wanted to educate you on that level with the NQ 1700 versus the one needle. This is the road to go if you're going to do that. If you're coming to classes and just having lots of fun with it and you're doing a NETA project, for yourself personally, and you're not trying to mass produce or do your husband's company logo on 40 shirts or 40 jackets, you'll see what I mean if you don't trust my advice to you. But hey, it's a good week. We still have lots of sunshine. Buy you a shirt for the election so that cultivate kindness, everybody. Or take advantage of our weekly deals or our monthly deals. We got lots of things. I wanted to show you one last thing. Jill had did this a couple weeks ago. It took us until the other day to get it done. This is some of our nice flannel. This was done with a layer cake. I had Jill to do it in the store, but I wanted to show you. And then you have to buy the sheep fabric. But look how pretty that is. Wouldn't that be cozy for somebody that has sheep or an outdoorsman? So this is really nice fabric. Moda puts out the best flannel ever, I think. But we wanted to show you this because we'll hang this probably next week up here as it gets closer to the class, or we might put Miss Puckett's up. But hey, lots of new things. Hope we've inspired you today and encouraged you in good ways to be kind. Um, Education on machines. But I hope you take advantage of our nice deals that we have. Get signed up for one of the classes, whether it's embroidery or the piecing class. Don't forget to sign up for a great pack of needles. Yes, yes. Thank you for watching this morning and or whenever you're watching it. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Thank you.